Holy hell, there are so many raw files here. What the heck is this all about? What am I going to do? I just shot a wedding. There's so many photos. I don't know how to select what I want. One of the biggest questions you get is how do you select your images? So in this case, I'm going to show you basically some wedding photos that I did from a while ago. I went back in the archives because there's some things that I have in here that I don't normally do anymore, that I don't keep and that I do keep, and this had all the examples. So I'm going to show you basically how I select them. I'm going to go from import to selecting what my keepers are, etc., everything. So we're going to cover all that right now. But before anything, any advice I give to you, and you're going to hear this a lot, is get it right in camera. Yes, that just sounds easy and that just sounds like a cop-out to editing, but it's not. If you get it right in camera in regards to white balance, and yeah, there are certain things you can do in Adobe Bridge and Lightroom that you can go through, customize, and select each and import that. Yeah, that's fine, but that takes up so much time. But look for your composition there so you're not cropping images and losing quality, and definitely look for your horizon or just images being tilted. And I have a problem with that for some reason at times. I'll just get images that are skewed to the right a little bit when I'm thinking, day of, boom, thank God you shoot raw, that I do shoot raw, so that's why there's so many images and it takes up a lot of space, but that's just how it is. So what do I first start off doing? So boom, import them, they're on the computer, then what? So I like to I like to blow them up more. I like to, you might hear the technique that a lot of people like to go through, look at smaller images and, look at some thumbnails and you can see things. Yeah, that's a good way to go through if you like to, see some doubles, but I don't like to delete necessarily anything except if they're really bad first day. So what I'll do is I'll bring them up on a bigger screen and I'll go from there. So these files you don't have to worry about. They're just the raw data for the file before it. So testing exposure. But, just something like this, you go through and you don't have to go through a lot, but I'm quick scrolling through. You can see what are keepers, something like this. There's not much going on. So I might not keep it, something if I go from there. But I don't spend a lot of time on it, especially the night before, because my biggest tip towards the end is I like to rate some of my favorites from the day, because there's that image that you're like, God damn, I got it, I know it, and I want it. So, I'll mark those and I'll show that, to you in a minute as well. But as I said, I'll go through, scroll once, and then let's see if I can find a bad one here. Like this one, totally underexposed. It's not good anyway, so that would be deleted. But then you're going to see there's kind of doubles, more or less. This isn't a strong shot. This is a better shot. I don't like the environment, but things like that. So I wouldn't keep something like that. But this is where you can go through and officially say, boom, don't need these because I already have these. And you can find the expression that you want. Write down some of your favorites the same night. I say make it quick, make it easy, select your images. So that way you're not just it's just not bugging you. But my main thing is, go through all your images. Great, fine, go through them quickly. But, get to the point to where you can get fresh eyes tomorrow, because after a day of shooting, it sucks. You're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. You're mentally drained because it does drain you. So it's better to take a step back later when you really get more into the fine-tuned stuff. So that's great. I showed you, running through some images, etc. But what do you actually do? Just in general, how do you what do you do next? How do you keep some of your favorites? All that kind of stuff. Well, it's easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of this full screen, and we're going to jump into Adobe Bridge. So I use Bridge because I don't use Lightroom that much. But for example, so all my images are going to come up, and I can go through and star them and search by star, as you can see right here. So say I liked this image, let's see, 430. So if I went through, found 430, I'm like, oh, I love this shot, even though it's not bad. Say I like it, all right, I do some quick stars, so I give it 3 stars. Say I, for some reason, like kind of the underexposed. Actually, this one's actually on my website. So say, boom, I like this. It's 4 stars. I'll give it 4 stars, but I can go through and just see all the images, just as they should be. This one I don't like, so it's 1 star. So I'll go through, and just do some quick star type of things, just because that's how I like to work. And then I come back the next day and redo it again. So then I'm like, oh, what did I like? Show me 3 or more stars. So I come up, I'm like, oh, okay, these are the keepers that I thought. Bam and bam. Okay, perfect. Well, which ones didn't I like? So I'll go through, show, 1 or more, but then obviously I'll see the 1. So this is how I work That's how I do it. I import them. I see, what keepers. I delete the ones quickly that are out of focus because there's no point to them for me. And then I come back with fresh eyes later on after I do my kind of quick starring, saving, backing up, archiving type of thing, and I go through. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And I hope this helped you out in selecting and culling your images, because there could be a lot of confusing things. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, but it really comes down to you and what makes more sense. But to me, this makes a lot of sense because I'm more organized for the second come around. I get fresh eyes, and then I can see like, ooh, why did I give this 3 stars? Maybe I need to go through and, give it 2 stars instead of the 3. And you know what? It will help later on. And once again, everything's done and out of the way for you. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Thank you for sticking around and watching this video. As I said, if you guys have any questions or comments, please write them down in the comments below, or follow me any of the links on the side of the screen if you want to know anything specific. But this is how I work. This is my workflow. It works for me. As I said, the fresh eyes thing. Don't necessarily delete everything day of shoot, because as I said, you're mentally drained. Come back fresh eyes the next day, a day or two, and which I will actually probably take a day or 2 off, so that way I'm just not worrying about it. Come on, fresh eyes. Bam, I got what I need. So keep an eye out and get your editing down right. Select or cull your images properly.